Hey, Jazzy, how's it going?
Up.
How you doing today?
Good. Very, very good. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. I'm doing awesome. Super excited to have you on today. We can talk a little bit about gaming.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited.
All right. So, uh, you know, Jazzy, welcome to the live stream. For those of you joining, we're going to talk a little bit about gaming today. So we're going to talk about how you can stay relaxed in gaming. But before we get into any of that, we really want to talk about some of the announcements we had at E3, right, Jazzy?
Yes, it was a whole bunch, especially like on the Xbox slash Bethesda side, which I think is my favorite showcase during the whole weekend slash week. I don't know because it carried over to the weekdays, but I was super excited mainly for Halo because that was like the number one game that I was looking forward to as far as like that showcase, and the online multiplayer looks insane. Like like the new features they have, like the grappling like thing that they use to like go towards enemies faster. That is new. Like I've never seen it. So like when I saw that, I got instantly hype, and I can't wait for that game to come out. And the Among Us update that they announced, I actually played that last night, and that was super fun to play, and it was chaotic, and it was just awesome. And all of the games that they mentioned on, like Xbox Game Pass, like for all of those, they have a lot of titles too. They have a lot of titles on Xbox Game Pass day one. I think that's a really, really great opportunity and great deal for everybody to like hop onto. So like this is really cool. It was a really good showcase.
No, I'm excited for Halo, and we got a ton of Game Pass announcements. So yeah, you're right on with that. I'm ready for this holiday. Can't wait. I'm no good at Halo, so everybody, you're better than me. Put it in the chat, but I'm terrible. But I'm excited to still play. So
Look, we can practice, okay? We can practice with the PR.
my skills up to get on your level. Well, thanks everybody for joining. Just to give a little bit of recap of what's going on, this is called Recess, where we talk about different topics, but we also want to make sure we care about taking a break, relaxing, and this is the moment of your day where you can have a little bit of fun. Azzy here that's going to help us talk about streaming and gaming and a little bit about how she incorporates her wellness into her gaming routine. So, Jazzy, welcome. And for those of you who may not know Jazzy, would you like to just give a little bit of background of who you are and what you do?
Yeah, sure. So, first off, for people that do know me, y'all know my phrase "bang bang, gang gang." I say it in videos. It came out of nowhere. I said it randomly one time. People like this. I just kept saying it. But I am a gamer. I've been playing games since I was 4 years old. I've had my gaming channel for a few years now. I actually have a main channel called first started my journey. But I love my journey as like becoming a streamer and doing let's plays and walkthroughs and just showing my passion for gaming because I really, really enjoy gaming, and I feel like especially as like Black women of color, like we don't get shown that much. So I kind of just like want to show that there's a lot of like amazing Black women gamers out there, and and hopefully inspire people to do the same thing that I'm doing so that they can showcase their passion as well.
That is awesome to hear. That is awesome to hear. I saw a bunch of bang bangs and I was like, I don't know what this is. So now everybody is going.
Oh my god.
That is awesome. That is awesome. So, Jazzy, tell us a little bit about like how today's episode is about kind of mental health and staying relaxed. So, how do you stay relaxed when you're going competitively gaming or you're streaming for such long hours? Like how does that work?
Yeah, when you're gaming for like a long time, especially like hours and hours on end, like I do late at night, it helps to have like things of comfort around like your setup. So one thing that people don't see that I use all the time throughout my gameplays and my streams is this big, well, it's not big, but it's like this fuzzy stool that I have underneath my desk that I just lay up my feet because some people use like, the little footrest at the bottom of your desk to try to like elevate your feet, but that's not enough elevation for me. So I was like, I need something a little bit bigger. So that's why I got that stool. And also, when you're gaming for a very long time, your posture can get very bad. So I have like this little, I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me try to angle it down. There's like, ooh, actually, sorry. But there is this pillow right here that I always have behind me whenever I'm gaming. So I always use that, and if my pillow goes down whenever I'm gaming, that's how I know that my posture is bad. So I actually would push it up sometimes, so that way I can remind myself to fix my posture and what I'm doing right now. So that's what also helps. And also, I also personally struggle with like anxiety sometimes. A lot of people don't know that. And since like I'm a foodie, like eating food whenever I'm streaming or gaming actually helps me stay focused and stay calm whenever I'm live streaming, because like, you know, you can get nervous and nerves can get to you, and that can affect like how you play in the game. So you guys will always see me eating gummy worms and stuff like that, and that's actually helping with my anxiety. So a lot of people don't know that.
Awesome. So, you know, as you said, straighten your back. I was like, my posture's not good, so I need to make sure my yeah, I have bad posture. So that's good to know that like you need to make sure your back straightened. But you know, another question I had about wellness is like, how do you take, you know, your competitively gaming, and sometimes you don't always get the win or the dub. So how do you get over that as far as mental health when you can't get over the hurdle?
Usually, like since I'm very competitive, I do kind of take like some of like the losses like a little bit hard like internally, because I'm just like I need to do better, but I can't be too hard on myself, because like every loss is a lesson in the same way. So it's like, okay, like I need to look back at this match or whatever I did to see whatever I did wrong and try to communicate better, especially if you're playing with a team, because communication is key. If you don't talk, you don't get to tell people where you're at, what somebody else is doing. So I always try to make sure that I'm always constantly saying what I'm doing, what I'm seeing, and try to communicate that with the other people that are on my team, so that way we can come out with a W. And if not, then we could just go ahead and go back to practice and work on like those things like that we have to improve on. But I always try not to take the losses too hard, because then that would just make me lose motivation in my gaming. And like maybe like it'll get too bad to where like I'm overthinking and then I just do completely terrible like in a match. So I just need to stay calm and drink water and just relax and don't take the L's too seriously.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Which leads me to another question I was thinking about was, you know, how do you come back? You know, sometimes, you know, whether you're trying to, you know, walk or run or do anything kind of, you know, physical athletic like gaming is, right? Like how do you coming back? You know, because, you know, sometimes I take an L and I give up right then and there. Like I'm like, I'm not playing this no more. So like how do you
Yeah. I know it's hard, like, whenever you're playing a game, especially when you're really into it, to not, like, throw something or, like, grab it too hard. For me, I'm just like, okay, I paid money for, like, these controllers and stuff, so I'm not gonna just chuck it. Like, I kind of need that. So, like, that's one thing that helps me. But another thing is when you're gaming for a long time, you do need to, like, get up and stretch. You do need to, like, move your body, because you don't want to become stagnant, especially, like, if you're playing on mouse and keyboard. You don't want to get like carpal tunnel from just sitting there in the same position the whole time. So a lot of the times I would get up and go ahead and walk around, stretch my legs. And I also make it a thing now that I've actually implemented recently to work out for at least an hour a day. Doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be like strenuous. I could be like on a treadmill for 30 minutes, not jogging, just taking a good walk on a treadmill. Or I could go ahead and sit and do stretches, something that makes my body active every day, so that way I can still get like cardio in and try to maintain like my health, my physical health at the same time when I'm playing the game. Because if I'm just sitting there all day, like that's just going to be deteriorating for my health in the long run. And I know that. So I got to get up and do something.
Okay, definitely. And for those of you joining, welcome to Recess. We're sitting here with the great Jazzy Guns. We can get a lot of bang bangs in the chat. No, that's now I know is in the chat, so we can get bang bang in the chat. Talking about how you can stay relaxed and gaming, and we're sharing some insights on how you can, you know, make sure you take a break and stay well, and we really care about that at Microsoft Store. So Jazzy, thanks for joining.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Anytime. So, you know, we talked about how to get your posture right. We talked about walking away. We talked about being inspirational and coming back into the game, even though you may not win. When gaming's done, so like you're done with the streaming for the day and you're wrapping up, like what do you do? What do you do when you get off?
A lot of the times I do my time like playing certain games that are not content driven. So it's like I make sure that I have some games that I just play to myself so I can just chill and relax. And like some games like that are definitely like Animal Crossing, Miitopia. Like I spend a lot of hours on that nobody sees, and you would think that I'm no lifing the game, but I promise I'm not. But I also make it a habit for me to spend at least an hour of not being plugged into anything, as far as like not being on Instagram, not being on Twitter, not being in front of the computer monitor setup that I have, like nothing, like so that way I can just unplug and relax and not always have to feel like I have to be on. Because like as a content creator, it's kind of like you feel like you always have to pay attention to what's on social media and what's going on around you, so that you don't miss like certain things coming out or certain announcements and things like that. And that can actually like be a little bit overwhelming sometimes. So it's always good to like take that break away from all of that and just like relax and probably try meditation. I don't know how good I'm gonna be at it because I'm always overthinking stuff, but I do need to try it. So things like that.
Okay, it definitely makes sense. And you know, we have a couple minutes wrapping up, but you know, what would you share to someone who's just starting? Like, I've never streamed gaming ever, so you know, what tips do you have out there for folks that may be thinking about it, but just need that extra little push from Jazzy that says, you know, I can do this too, and go get after it?
Look, okay, so coming from me, when I first started, like my whole YouTube journey, I was the shyest person in the planet, okay? I did not talk much in my earlier videos, on my reaction videos and things like that. But what I would say is to definitely do not be afraid to do what you like to do. Whether it's gaming, whether it's, you know, fashion, makeup, whatever it is that you're passionate about, show that like in your videos, and don't be afraid to show that on screen, because that's the one thing that made me delay making my gaming channel for so long, was because I was afraid of like what people would think of me and my personality and my aggressiveness, because I know that like I get really into the game and I didn't know how like people would like perceive that. But luckily when I did show that, I saw that people were very welcoming, and that was so nice to see. And that made me think like, oh, okay, like if I can do that, like being an introvert that I am, then I think that other people can do that as well. So that's why I want to keep going and keep showcasing my gaming channel and showing people that you can branch out and show people what you like to do, and not be afraid to embrace that. Like, don't be afraid to embrace your nerdism and like anime, gaming, comics, any of that stuff. Like, because there's other people that enjoy the same things that you do, and there might be a lot of people that enjoy the things that you do. And if they see that that excitement like convey across the screen, like your community will just build more and more and more, and it's just going to be even better for you in the long run.
No, totally. That's great advice for out there. So if you're on the edge about streaming and you want to get into it, you just heard it from an award-winning streamer. Gave you, you just got an amazing award, and
yes,
had up with some trophies. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so surprisingly, I won the Streamer of the Year for YouTube for the Gamehers Awards, which I was completely blindsided by, because the day that they announced like the nominees for the Gamehers, everybody was tagging me. Like I was like, it was a day like where like I wasn't by my phone, and all of a sudden I saw like all these tags, like Jazz Guns. I was like, what is going on? And then I saw that I was nominated, and I was like, oh, like I've never been nominated for anything before, so this is kind of cool. And then that's when I just promoted like, hey, you know, vote for me if you want to, you know. And then I didn't think that I'd actually win it, so like that's the thing that got me super thrown back. And I was just like, wow, like y'all really like what I'm doing. So I'm just like, that actually like motivated me to keep going and push out more content for you guys, because I didn't think that I was going to get that. I really did not, because there were so many other great creators that were there. So that's why I was just like, okay, I just need to keep going and not stop, like keep this train going, because I love my community for doing that too. So I want to give a big thank you to everybody that does support me as well.
Well deserved. Well, Jazzy, thank you so much for joining us today. Talk about gaming, talk about how you relax, and talk about how you kind of stay, you know, free and fresh as you go through your journey of streaming. We really appreciate that. Mm-hmm. And for you in the chat and then participating and viewing all over the world, thank you so much for joining our Recess episode.